News 46 is brought to you by Bees Embroidery and Garment Printing, specializing in custom and personalized decoration of gifts, garments, and more. Call 775-727-9444. News is also brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Call 727-9900 today for your free consultation. If you need a lawyer, you need Nelson.
Tonight on News 46, a man is killed after being run over by his own truck.
A home fire is under investigation.
And a local businessman is switching gears. News 46 starts now.
You're watching KPVM News 46 with Deanna O'Donnell and Zach Reinert. News 46, local coverage you can count on.
Good evening. It's Wednesday, November 30th, 2016. I'm Deanna O'Donnell.
And I'm Zach Reinert for News 46.
A man was killed today after being struck by what appears to be his own pickup truck. How the accident occurred is still under investigation. The Nye County Sheriff's Office is investigating a fatal single-vehicle accident that occurred on Atkinson near Blagg this morning. The man was found near his vehicle on his property located on the corner of Atkinson and Sharon Street with injuries that appear to be consistent from being struck by a vehicle. No witnesses were there at the time of the accident, but it appears that the man was run over by his own truck. Mercy Air landed on Blagg Road. The man was then taken by Mercy Air crew by ground ambulance in order to get the patient advanced care faster. However, he succumbed to his injuries, according to Fire Chief Scott Lewis, and was pronounced deceased at Desert View Hospital shortly after his arrival. This is Deanna O'Donnell for News 46.
Well, midnight structure fire is under investigation by the state fire marshal. This home has had one other oven fire reported and a car fire in which the car was rolling at the time, and the occupants reportedly jumped out of the vehicle onto Oak Ridge Avenue.
Just after midnight, we were dispatched initially for a smoke investigation, and the investigation was centered around the fact that someone thought they observed some light smoke presenting from a vent. That person then reportedly went up and checked some windows on the house. It was actually a neighbor, and felt that they were warm to the touch. As our crews were responding, based on that information, we decided to upgrade it as a precautionary measure to a structure assignment, adding all of our resources to this particular call. As our Engine 3 crew commenced a size-up, which means they were checking out every aspect of the property, walking around the perimeter, they observed a fire condition in one of the rear bedrooms. Thus far, we went into the mode then of that we do have an active fire. The crews knew they were going to be going to work. We commenced a command post. They established a interior attack through the front door, and they found the body of the fire, quickly extinguished it. And now they preserved it, and we're having the fire itself investigated by the Deputy State Fire Marshal.
Were the residents home at the time?
No, the house was found to be unoccupied. It was uncertain in the early stages, so our crews, additional crews, went in there and did what we call primary and secondary searches. And a primary is a rapid means of going through the property, make sure there's nobody there. A secondary is a more thorough approach. We found that both of those searches had negative findings, so there was no occupants, there was no animals or anything along those lines. There were animals on the property, but they're at the rear of the property in a fenced area.
This home has a history of other fires or things going on?
We were out here approximately 30 days ago on a kitchen-related fire.
You also had a vehicle fire out there, right?
We did. It wasn't necessarily on that particular property, but out in the front on the common street, we had a vehicle fire approximately 1.5 years ago.
Did the residents show up after the fire started?
They did. In fact, as we were completing our scene size-up and commencing fire attack, a gentleman presented at a perimeter fence indicating he was one of the residents. He was concerned about one of the dogs in the back of the yard.
And you have other residents on this home, right?
Yeah, it's part of the investigation, but it appears that there's been multiple occupants both inside the structure and also living in a trailer, at least one trailer, and behind the perimeter fence.
You have the state fire marshal here right now. Do you have any inkling of what could have started the fire?
We have an idea, but it's a little preliminary to really announce it. We're looking into different aspects, and so we're going to continue the investigation at this point.
How many people live on this property?
That's unknown at this time. We're trying to gather that information as well.
And new details have been released regarding a weekend shooting at a local bar. There's an update regarding the shooting that occurred at Vince Neal's Tatawada Wildside Tavern on Gamebird Road over the weekend. The suspect, Jack Allen, has been charged with attempted murder with a deadly weapon, assault with a deadly weapon, battery with a deadly weapon, discharging a firearm where a person might be endangered, and discharging a firearm out of a vehicle. According to the press release, on November 26th, at approximately 7 o'clock in the morning, multiple Nye County Sheriff's Office deputies and detectives responded to Tatawada Wildside Bar in reference to a shooting. During the course of the investigation, detectives learned that the suspect, identified as Jack Allen, was told by the bartender to leave the bar for being disorderly. The bartender and a bar patron followed Allen outside to make sure he left the property. Allen then got into a red Chevy dually pickup truck and drove onto Gamebird Road. As Allen drove away, according to police, he pointed a firearm at the bartender and fired one round, missing the bartender and striking the bar patron in the foot. It should be noted that the bar patron was approximately 1 foot away from the bartender, according to police. Allen immediately fled the scene, according to the report. The bar patron was transported to Desert View Hospital for medical treatment. On Sunday, November 27th, deputies responded to an address on Denise Court in reference to a wanted person. The individual wanted was identified as Jack Allen for attempted murder. Upon arrival, Mr. Allen was taken into custody without incident. Furthermore, the firearm was collected. A warrant was later served on Mr. Allen's residence and vehicle. A lone shell casing was located in Mr. Allen's vehicle that matched several bullets that were located within his residence, according to the police report. This is Deanna O'Donnell for News 46.
Okay, we'll have your health tip after the break.